Because now you start to strip out the pathways that don't work. So thinking from her goal, not toward it, pathways thinking, a thought hit her. Rather than going straight to the to the credit repair companies who serve the clients, what if I went to the people one level above? Who are the people that serve the credit repair companies? And she realized there are other software companies in my space that have thousands of these credit repair companies using their software. She knew them all. She knew, because she's in this space so much, she knew the dominant softwares that these credit repair companies use. And she thought, my old pathway was that I would need to have 1,000 who's to hit my goal. If I wanted 1,000 of these credit repair companies on her old linear path, non-leveraged path, she would need 1,000 yeses to get 1,000. She's going straight to the individual. She would need each individual company to say yes to get to 1,000. Now she's thinking, if I actually went to the software companies who are already in my space, who serve 1,000 of these, I would only need one yes to get 1,000. That's higher leverage, right? And so she realized there's tons of software companies in my space now. Then her fear kicked in. She thought, well, she said, I'm a very small software company. Level Up Score has 10 clients. Like, these big software companies that serve thousands of these credit repair companies are not going to want to talk to me, right? So she stopped. So she stopped herself out of fear. But anyways, she decided, and this is actually an important point. There's a concept. A lot of people say, should you talk about your goals or should you not talk about your goals? If you start talking about your goals, you become signal to the right people. The right people will know who you are and what you're doing.
So
right?
good.
It's true. Like, how can the right people know if you're signal for them if they don't know what you're doing? And usually when you have a very high goal and you start to develop a unique pathway to get there, you can become very attractive to the right people because they see a phenomenal opportunity in what you're doing too, and they align with it. And so if you're not going to talk about your goals, and if you have a poor goal, like if it's a small goal, obviously that's not going to attract phenomenal leverage, right? And if you don't have a unique pathway to doing it, you're not going to get you're not going to get those super who's because they don't see any. You're a noise to them. They're not going to see any reason to get involved in what you're doing because their super capability or their leverage isn't going to be impactful for what you're doing. So, anyways, she was talking about Level Up Score to one of these companies. She was cold calling one of these companies because she still, even though she knew she wanted to go to software companies who serve those credit repair companies, she was still too afraid to go call those software companies. And so instead she defaulted back to, I'm going to call these companies. And so she was talking to one of them, and she was explaining to one of these credit repair companies about Level Up Score, and the guy was just insanely amazed by it. And he's like, I love this thing. He's like, I want to introduce you to several of my friends who also work at these companies. And she's like, you know what? She's like, I'd be happy to be introduced to those people, but to be honest with you, I actually don't want to serve just a few of these credit repair companies. I want to serve thousands of them. And then she said, I actually think I should try to partner with other software companies. There's ones called like My Credit Score Now and stuff. And there's a lot of these software companies that do different things. And she said, I think I should partner with another software company because these software companies, sometimes they have 1,000 or sometimes they have tens of thousands of these credit repair companies using their software. And he said, I have someone for you. Literally, he said, I have someone for you. He said, I have a friend who owns a company called Credit Repair Junkies. And Credit Repair Junkies is a software that serves these credit repair companies and helps them improve their client experience. And so the next day, she's on the phone with the owner of this company. She's explaining Level Up Score. And he's in shock. He's like, this thing is incredible. And they form a partnership right there. He actually has 8,000 of these credit repair companies using Credit Repair Junkies. And he says, we're gonna form a partnership, and all 8,000 of my clients are now gonna start using Level Up Score in one day.